What about your woman who was in that thing? I was like, darling, I'm good.
But I'm not a mind
Sounds
reader.
like somebody asking me for a request and in the video recorder.
Do your fella, and he sings. Remember, it was on the radio. It was on the radio on Tuesday. They played it.
Sing that song goes dude. No,
They played it on Q Radio 3 weeks ago.
It was Q, and do you know what? No, it wasn't.
No, tell a lie.
It was what do you call him? Hugo Duncan.
It was Hugo Duncan. It was
Okay,
sounds of the 60s. Toxic.
Toxic.
It was on Sounds of the 60s.
Aye. Racist. It was called
Poisonous.
yeah. What do you know? Are we recording?
Yeah.
Are we? Oh shit.
Get
right.
your flapper right.
Get our flaps out. Right. Hello.
Word up.
What up?
The return.
Welcome. Can you tell anything different? We are sorry for our sabbatical just now, but we were doing important work. We are in our new studio. New and improved. We have to divulge a little insider information though. The Word Up sign has been confiscated by the government due to things that we're not allowed to discuss.
The Word Up sign is a prescribed organisation.
Yeah, and Word Up is no longer allowed to be mentioned. I'm only joking. The thing
You
is,
can go to prison for 14 years like that. What is it? Palestine Action.
Right.
Palestine Action.
Palestine Action is now a prescribed organisation.
What the
And
hell?
if you're a part of it, if you're proven to be a member of it, you could go to prison. Word Up is.
Or if you voice
has-
support.
I don't think I'm a
even if you
member of
voice
that
support.
one, but I would consider joining if it meant I got 2 weeks in jail
Away from the children.
away from the kids. Yeah.
Hey, tell us this: if I go to jail days, can I? Like, do you get paid? Like, do you get statutory sick pay?
I don't know. No, you're disenfranchised entirely, I think.
No, but I mean, if you're just held in the cells for like
I think it's still.
a period of time, you're not going to prison.
You have to ring up.
No, you don't
work.
get to
You have
book
to ring up
in.
work. Go here.
I could tell you what it is.
Funny story.
I've a. See, my stomach isn't sitting right, but that's nothing to do with it. I'm just in jail.
My stomach's not sitting right because I've been eating prison food. So the thing.
And Big Bertha round the corner said she's going to knock my bollocks in at 7 o'clock when the lights go out because of stole her chips. Do you know what I mean?
I'm trying to get half a Twinkie. I'm selling her my back tooth. So I'm
Like Orange is the New Black. I'm cutting off a big whack of my hair here and giving it to her round the corner so she can like plait it into hers.
turn it into a garrote.
Aye,
Killing
a
her.
garrote.
I've been on the toilet all night because I've been trying to avoid like fights.
I've been on the toilet all night.
I've got the fates.
and there's-
Got a terrible case of the fates.
And my
Couldn't
two-
get off a bug.
My two cellmates are watching me because I went low. No privacy.
Aye, we
This
merged.
is actually my one phone call.
So anyway, yes,
So if you
doctor.
could like call my main man and tell him I don't need any juices.
You would, and you would.
Man, man.
Would you? Since I'm phoning you to phone in sick, would you phone my mommy and tell her I'll not bid for Sunday dinner? Would
Yeah.
you? I know you don't know her, but I think she's my emergency contact on HR thing. Listen, I'm running
So
out
if
of
you look
time.
up my file.
Right, bye.
Yeah. What? I didn't touch it.
You're running out of time.
Yeah. Can you imagine people who, I wonder out there if there is people who have a kink
Right.
for prison.
Oh, there's bound to be. There's
You
bound
know,
to be.
but,
There's a
like,
kink for everything.
Can you imagine they're in and they're just doing stupid. They're stealing Skittles and all to get arrested.
But
So that they can be in
get
jail
bombed
going,
prison.
do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, even that. Yeah, that.
It's a whole Shawshank.
Like, do you know what I mean? Going past the screws and going, I have a couple of razor blades stashed up my arsehole. Do
Oh, can you imagine?
you want to have a look?
Or some people just can't deal with the outside world. Like,
Well,
Sure, there's a wee
you can
man at
become
the-
institutionalised.
That wee man at the end of Shawshank.
They say the hardest thing about going into prison is coming out in terms of anxiety. You're very, very anxious. And I know this from first-hand sources.
I'm getting bummed in the showers.
Yeah, not even. I don't think that's
You
as
can
much.
just get-
Not
you
over
get
here.
used to- There's a thing. It's called circumstantial homosexuality.
Really?
It's called so like I think so in the outside world. And I think it just goes towards like
Gay
all
for the
human
stay.
beings, gay for the stay.
Just wanting a wee
Gay
bit
for
of
pay.
fun.
But it's a bit that kind of like you crave human interact. Like everybody craves human interaction to a point. Everybody's like, you need that touch.
Yes, of
you
course.
get touch starved.
Yeah.
And so when you've got like, I don't know, Big Rob's hand around your wab, do you know what I mean? Like you're
Do you know what happened to me before? Right. Not.
You got big at
One
Rob.
time. I
time.
was lifted for double
prison
parking
camp.
on the double yellow line and has a lesbian for 3 weeks.
And I had my hand around a big wab belonging to Rab too, but he was the fucking security. He was the screw. But, you know, it needs must.
Needs must.
But
Give
what
me an
happened
extra
to me
packet of
was
potato.
I was listening to this podcast
Mm-hmm.
called Human Monsters, right?
Right. Who does that?
The guy with the most dreary voice in the world, and I love him for it. It is the most. It sounds as though his voice, his mouth, and his face is paralyzed. Right? I'm not exaggerating.
He
goes-
Before we go any further, is there something wrong with him or is it just the way it is?
No, do you know who he sounds like? Someone you'll go, that would put you in mind of. He talks like this.
Oh.
He says, "Welcome to Human Monsters," and then he just he talks so monotone, and he read right. So it was all about
There's
at
a
first.
level of vibration that if you talk at it, like, does anybody else get this? Right? It's where you were doing that there, and if I listen to people who talk like ASMR and all that sort of thing, makes me need to pee.
Does it?
Uh-huh.
It's like it affects your wee bladder.
And makes me go like, and I would not be like a person who needs to go to the loo. I
Well,
wouldn't be
that
like,
makes.
why did he go to
Do you
the
know
loo?
what? There might be something to that because the
It's like
crash
a
test
vibration.
dummies guy, you know his voice is so deep, and he said that unborn babies responded to it in the womb. There was a study done. Vin Diesel apparently the same, but men with very deep voices. It must be something to do with
The deep vibration.
Yeah, the vibration that it causes affects the waters of the womb. Who knows? But that guy that was reading the Human Monsters,
Uh-huh.
right?
Monsters.
Some people might be into this actually because it must have been. So the first few episodes were all about serial killers.
Right.
And
Everybody
that's-
loves a serial killer.
So essentially, I went, "Oh, this is a good serial killer podcast." And his voice again is so monotone that if you're going to sleep, it doesn't disturb
Yeah.
you, and you can peacefully relax listening to
Soporific
butcherings.
effect.
And a soporific effect, it does. It has a very soporific effect, David.
Okay, but are you then taking in on what he's saying?
I am. I was. Well, wait to hear this. So, episode 4, I think it was. I'm walking about my day, listening to my podcasts, and I was cleaning my house. And I actually remember exactly where I was because audiobooks have that thing. And whenever you're
Princess
listening,
Diana
where you
died.
identify,
When Princess Diana died, Twin Towers,
yes,
listening to episode 4 of Human Monsters.
listening to episode 4 of Human
Everybody
Monsters.
always remembers where they are.
So I
There's
thought
3
this
moments.
again was another verbatim account from someone who was, talking about their experience in jail.
Right.
And it was all. So my ears started, my bullshit alarm started going off
Right.
because it was, he crashed drunk and his family was really, really rich, but his dad disowned him, didn't acknowledge him, didn't get him. They were lawyers, and yet he ended up doing like a life stretch in prison. I was
Aye.
like,
straight away, you're like, no.
dubious. But then it was whenever he really started enjoying the sexual encounters that happened with the Nazi biker gang that were banging him. And then it started being like, he had never felt this kind of love as he filled him up with a seed. And I was like, you really came out of left field with this one. Like, I am not
No.
listening to this.
That's not a serial killer thing anymore.
But it was just, it wasn't that I had a moral, fucking, objection. But it was, I thought I was listening to serial killers, and now I'm listening to extreme gay
No, it's
porn
like you
while
think-
I'm changing the
No,
child's nappy. Like,
you
it's weird.
think that you've gone up and you've gone, I think I've checked this off the shelf thinking that I'm going to eat milk tray, and it's not.
It's like I can
used
never go to
condoms.
Heston Blumenthal's. Use condoms! Heston Blumenthal's fucking restaurant, I would hate it. I wouldn't want to cut into a
No.
strawberry and taste beef. Do
No.
you know what I mean? It's just
No.
not good.
That's why I can't eat olives, because my brain can't get over the fact that it's not a grape.
Oh, really? Do
Every
you know that bananas are a seed? Or no, they're not a seed. They are a berry. Bananas are a berry.
And you know, like,
And strawberries are a seed.
and vegetables don't exist.
There.
There's no such nothing as a everything
Very
that you think is a vegetable. Like tomatoes, fruits, potatoes, carrots, tubers, roots,
Oh,
legumes. There's no such thing as a vegetable.
there is.
There's no such thing as a vegetable. Anything you can think of as a vegetable is not a vegetable. It's like cauliflower is a flower.
Oh, why? Right, our whole world's a lie. But I
there's no
always
such
think of
thing as
that.
a vegetable.
What is
Well,
it? Knowledge
apart
is
from
knowing. I was really busy.
Apart from our wee Stephen that time when he was in hospital, whenever he had bad cards.
Now,
and he
I'm
was a
really proud
vegetable.
of myself
I know.
because I didn't go there.
I knew you wanted
You
to.
looked at me. You looked at me,
And you just
you were
gave
like,
me a-
you went, and I went.
If you would like to rewind that moment, you will see where Sean was the good angel on my shoulder because whenever I said there is vegetables, I looked at you and you went, Sean, for people watching on like camera and not listening, Sean shook his head. And also for the people that are listening, because you can't see either. But yeah, Sean shook his head at me just once, like, no, Bern, I know what you're thinking. Don't go there. And then David then, yes, vegetables are us. Right. Here, bet you was a great turn up at his funeral. Sorry. I'm there. I'm going to hell. But sure, I'm going anyway. I'm probably going anyway, so whatever.
Hell won't have me. Heaven won't have me, and hell are afraid I'm going to take over.
Oh, God. But yes, would you like to hear our word of the week? We actually do have one, and we missed you, and we want to share this with you. Word of the week.
Word of the week.
Da, da, da. It is
melioration. And sometimes it's amelioration, depending.
Sometimes, whether or not you're
melioration. Melioration. So melioration.
Would you like to tell us what it means?
It just means like taking stuff and making it better.
Making
like
the world a better place.
Improving things.
Make it a better place.
For you and for me.
Well, he didn't really do that.
I'm grasping at straws here, but I'm trying to find something that sounds like, and all I can think of is like a broken English, like a Chinese fusion
I knew
restaurant.
that's where it was going.
Melioration.
It tastes better.
Melioration. Oh, yeah.
Like a Eurasian meal.
Yeah, a Eurasian. Oh, right enough. Melioration. Melioration. Yes, that's a good way of remaking it.
Melioration. Eat this and you'll feel better.
Yeah.
Melioration.
Melioration. Oh my God.
Melioration.
Walking up, all Asian people get a free meal. Melioration.
Do you know, like this?
There you go. We're just helping you remember it. Do you know what I mean? Melioration.
Do you know what used to make?
But doing a nice thing, making the world a better place.
Do you know what used to ameliorate my evenings? Whenever I lived in Madrid, and this is I can't believe that I did this.
It's not
and, like,
butter.
Can't believe it's not butter, but sometimes I think it is.
Mm.
I think
Nobody does. Have you ever tried that shit?
They're trying. I can't believe it's not fucking wallpaper paste. That's what I can't believe it's not. So
I can't believe this isn't illegal to sell in the shops.
I can't believe this is FDA approved.
Do you know what the cheap Tesco, the ersatz?
I'm still buttering it on my toast and eating it. I can't believe. I can certainly be. This tastes shit. I hate this.
It's just plastic.
Or do you ever do this? What's rotten? Oh my God! Taste it.
Yeah, don't believe me.
Oh my God, that's the most rotten thing. Oh my God, it's giving me the joy. I'm going to shit myself.
Do you know what my mother does to me?
What?
And I really don't like it. I'm sorry, Ma. I know she's probably the only person that watches this, so here goes. Smite our only fan. That's why I call it OnlyFans. You get one. Only one fan.
Only fan.
But Monica, see, whenever she sweats, if she's like walked somewhere or she's come over in a wee menopause sweat, she goes, my God, I just came out in a big sweat there. Like, look at me. And then I go, and she goes, feel me. Feel it. Feel my head. Or she goes, feel my back. And I'm like, I don't want to touch your sweaty back or your sweaty, clammy forehead.
I make Alan touch my sweat. If I'm like, do you wake up and say, I can't believe I'm sweating this much. Feel my back. Mm-hmm. And I do. Oh,
I soaked through not one, but 2 t-shirts last night thanks to the fluoxetine sweats and the heat.
Lovely.
And
the heat. No.
Some girl said to me, I would love that. You'd lose weight. And I was like, it's not how it works. It's not exercise. You're just losing water. You wake up thirsty.
You're dehydrated. You wake up and you think you've pissed the bed.
Aye. Oh, God, it's terrible, isn't it?
I remember, it wasn't fluoxetine. It was...
there you go.
Still is my I quite liked the thing recently they were talking about.
Fluoxetine is Prozac, by the way, for anybody.
It was what do you call her? She was in 50 Shades of Grey.
Shade.
Her and she
not
was
the winner of the fucking Oscar.
Not the winner of the Oscar. And she was in Madam Web, which is also
you call her. She's Dakota.
No,
not Dakota Fanning. Dakota. She is a nepo baby.
She is Melanie
Johnson
and
Dakota Johnson,
Don Johnson's daughter, and she was getting interviewed by Amy Poehler, and Amy Poehler was saying, you know, when you move to California, they're all like, oh, I take supplements, and like I just don't take any medication, just take supplements, and she goes, yeah, I take supplements like Xanax.
Yeah.
I do take my supplement.
It's a health supplement.
Venseer.
Oh, you on the Venseer?
I'm on the Venseer. I'm on the Venseer. The venlafaxine.
Yeah.
Venseer is just the street name.
The street name
for that. But I
Dakota Johnson's the one that done the interview like on Ellen.
She was the downs. Like Ellen was on a tricky. Like she was kind of teetering, and then
what
Dakota
happened?
Johnson, she was like, why did you not invite me to your birthday? And she goes,
Oh, yes, that's
well,
right.
I did invite you, Alan. And then Alan was like, oh, yes, you did. And then that was the slippery slope to Alan's demise in the public eye. Because like everyone was like, I can't believe that Ellen DeGeneres is going to be horrible. And then you were like, no.
She sits with Trump in the fucking special box at the
Shaky.
baseball games.
It does. It makes special box sound.
Aye. Like exactly
what it is.
What it is with
does what it says on the box.
Yeah. Does what it says on the box.
Specials.
Auntie Bev actually discussed a word recently. Auntie Bev brings melioration.
She does.
I think, to the world. Because she makes it a better place by informing people about stuff and giving them words to describe current affairs, I think. And she was talking about the word Trumpery.
Oh, God.
Which is a real word.
Uh-huh.
And it means like something that looks good but is worthless. Or looks tacky and worthless,
Alan
is it?
calls that, it is fun. We would have used the word, like Alan says it to me and I use it now, Trumpery.
Trumpery.
It is.
It
like,
is.
You know, all your accoutrements.
Oh.
You know, all your things that you like.
All your wee bits and bobs.
Your Trumpery. Do you like, but no, Trumpery would be more like, you know, when you get like a big envelope and you go, ooh, and it's all full of like, do you want to sign up for this life insurance?
Yeah.
And it's all fucking
it's
full
all
of shit.
Trumpery.
It's all
It's full of
Trumpery. You're not
absolute
using it.
shit.
It's all shiny.
Well, it looks like substance, but there's nothing there.
Nothing tell it.
There's another word that we had for that before. It's
Which one?
It was like,
Hold on until I just go through. By the way, in the move, we found
it unearthed.
We found unearthed. Well, I say we. Sean found because I didn't give him any help moving. These little word up cards. Do you remember these? Any hardcores, mummy? So I was laughing because we found them and look, gudgeon. A gudgeon.
Gudgeon gobmoose.
It's a small. Remember gudgeon? It's like a gullible person, but it's a small European freshwater fish. But I saw this. This was the first one I lifted, and it simply says, "Here,
here,
here,
yeah, here,
here ye."
Don't make a here anyway in public.
Yeah.
My God, my daughter's a whore.
But it makes sense because the card next to it was beard splitter, which is a male whore. That
Male
must have
whore.
been for our Schwerdowns or
It
something.
must have been for our Downs.
Yeah, so we are. What do you think? What brings melioration
What
to your
invokes
life?
melioration?
oh, you were saying something about you in Spain.
Whenever I lived in Madrid,
So when you lived in Madrid, you phoned your ma.
I phoned
Yes,
my
he phoned his ma. Sorry.
Llamé a mi madre. And I was, so I was like, so on a night out, they don't have like chippies and, you know, you want to feed.
Yeah.
And this is like at 6 or 7 in the morning when you're like, actually, you're wanting breakfast, really. But you know what we used to buy? Right? You used to be like, and like, this is just the truth. It was always a Chinese person that had a wee business.
Right.
And they'd be standing next to a bin, right? And you would go up and they would have like pasta, noodles.
Oh my God, amelioration.
Amelioration.
Melioration?
And,
What the
and
fuck?
There'd be 10 takeaway things, and they would have maybe 10 of these in a plastic bag hidden in the bin.
He's telling us he ate bin food.
I
That's
did,
essentially what this
That's
is.
essentially what this is. I ate bin food.
You went and bought food off a wee Asian
Why?
man from a bin.
From a bin, but they were all over the city. Like, please, anybody who maybe lived or visited or
Wee
was
bin
in,
hooker!
in Madrid,
Oh, return pressure.
in the mid to
Hooker!
late 2000s, yes. And then they would put like that, you know, like passata on it, like tomato frito, and they'd put it on that there and a wee bit of salt, and I'd mix it up, and then I'd eat that on the way home.
I'm starving now.
But
know,
no,
sounds
but
great.
but
But not for that.
But it was
like,
in the- but
I'll
like-
not eat it.
it was a form of melioration. I was like, I'm so hungry, and this is like, do you like it kind of
I know
it
exactly
completed
what
the
you mean.
night.
Yep.
I was
That's
on my
like
way
whenever I
home.
was in Greece and you get gyros and that's your night out.
but
Like,
gyros is
well,
off
that's
a
not
thing
your
that's
night
like,
out, but
it's
that's
like,
the end of your night out. And
I
you're like,
love a
I'm
wee
starving.
with house sauce.
I fell face first into a gyros, and I mean, I must have looked like an animal eating it. I was so drunk, and then I remember just ordering one directly after it again, just standing there and eating the second
That
one.
sounds like a weird Freudian lesbian dream, doesn't it?
Aye.
She walks straight into your
Face first
fucking
into a fucking kebab.
into her Durham.
There's tips too. A bit of a beard splitter here. You know what I mean?
And then this was the dream starts. To
I don't
stop making
remember
sense.
ordering yogurt.
She's like,
You're like, why is my geography teacher here? I haven't seen her in years.
a bit of tomato and a raw onion.
Yeah.
Dirty bitch.
Fuck's sake, what's coming out of here? Do you know what I mean?
Look after your cheese.
Yeah, onion, ye.
Look after your
We
Look after your gyros, you dirty bitch.
what we are going to do actually is indulge people with a wee bit of a dirty word.
Oh, wow.
I know we normally save this for the Patreon.
But we're going to, because we've been away.
Because we've been away, we just feel like skanking it up a wee bit.
Reminding you is what you is you're paying for.
You know, like the good shit. David, work away. You going to do the dirty word of the week?
Dirty word. Swear down. What's that? Is this a dirty word? This isn't a swear word.
Yeah.
It's hypophilia. So hypophilia. So as we know, philia is always like a fetish or kink or something. And like this hypha comes from like a web or weaving or material. So it's
Philia is like an unnatural love for.
it's uncalled for.
Uncalled for.
Do you like?
But I love how unjudgmental our little book is because it's just called the Encyclopedia of Unusual Sex Practices. Not weird sex, not fuck your weird sex practices or oddballs. It's just sex practices. We don't yuck their yums.
And some of them are weird.
Some of them are genuinely weird.
Because just like, I only get off when I murder somebody. And like, I wouldn't be...
Or whenever I pretend that I'm eating human body parts. Like, that's weird.
Listen, everybody's got something.
Every bunch. There's a lid for every pack, they say. Do you know what I mean?
Horses for courses.
Aye, you know what I'm saying? But today's dirty word means...
It is the arousal or like... Yeah, being aroused by touching material. So like material, I imagine that to be like, you know, like maybe people who,
Silk.
you know, like, did you say sick?
Silk.
Oh, right.
Yeah, emetic. That would be like emetophilia or something, being vomited on.
Like sick, like, oh, this is great. Oh, I love it. Oh, yes, mama.
I get to relive that wee bin meal.
That we made on my wee bin. I'm sure that's
Melioration all over
sure
me.
there is still bin meal in my system. I'm sure, like 20.
It's in your DNA now.
20 years later.
Bin meal. The microplastics from the bin. What sort of bin was it?
It was like, you know, like the wee bins that we didn't have in Northern Ireland in the whole 80s because they were afraid of them putting bombs in them.
Oh, what, the wee metal ones that have a wee lid?
It just says litter on them, and then at the top you can put your faggot out on the top of them.
Oh.
Remember we didn't, like, I don't know if
yes.
we just didn't have them. It was like, they got to the point where all the bins got rid of the bins.
Like an actual bin that's in the town now?
A bin.
Did he open it up like a door? Like, you know the way you can open them?
Oh, no. It was like, it just was like, the wee bits were like, it's
yes.
You get the four sides, you just put your rubbish in.
No,
so we had to reach in.
He had to reach in and pull this plastic bag, and it would be so like.
Why was he not able to? Why was he hiding them?
Because he wasn't selling them like with like a license or like in a restaurant. Or
unlicensed tomato chips.
He's
unlicensed
like, you want to buy some
He's a fucking
pasta?
criminal.
Because
maybe he wants to go to jail. Maybe he has a kink.
He was in pasta.
Oh man, he was just cannelloni. He was standing out there trying to make friends.
He was full of shit.
Yeah. I wonder, has he passed away? Or is he still around?
If he was eating his own bin meals, I would say he's
he's been worm meal.
He's been dead.
He's been
for a while. God love him. But yes, I imagine this to be, you know, like
the dirty word.
Hypophilia. I imagine this to be, you know, like people who love like silk or lace or, you know, leather. Do you like that, or vinyl? I don't know if that's
latex.
Latex. That's a big.
It's a big
and I don't know if it's just
cords.
Because. Would you say cords?
Corduroy.
Corduroy.
Nothing says sexy like fucking Jeremy Clarkson coming down to you.
Brown corduroy trousers. And the jacket with the patches on the elbows.
Whenever I'm in London, you can always tell the rich people, right? Because they wear fucking weird coloured cords and random coloured socks.
Or
do you ever see them sitting on the train and you go, "What man's a millionaire? Look at the state of him."
Yeah, or like, yes, it's hush, like, you know, like hush puppies, or what do you loafers.
Oh, they love a loafer.
Loafers with a raspberry coloured fucking slack. Boater hat.
Yes. And lemon socks.
Lemon socks. Or no socks.
No socks.
Lemon sweater round the shoulders.
Oh, round they can't put it over their head.
Or wear it.
Maybe a bit of birth trauma or something. You know, Mammy didn't have me cesarean section, have me that way. She was too posh to push. So I do not put my head in jumpers.
Sunroof.
I avoided that from birth. I shan't put my head through a little narrow fold.
I put it round my shoulders to keep myself warm on a nippy day.
Yeah.
But I shan't be wearing it.
When it's a little bit chilly.
Chilly.
Otherwise, I'll just have my personal servants come with heaters and follow me.
The girls always wear, like, you know, like, they always look like their clothes are like it's all layers. They always look harried with like a pashmina and like a messy bun that's like moved its way around her head. And it's like, oh no. Jacinta, Arabella, Isabella, Aramella, and Jessamella.
Jess Miller. What is it with the Ellis?
Ella's.
Sebastian, get down off that, darling.
Ophelia.
Ophelia.
Hi, Ophelia. I like to touch things.
I like to Ophelia.
Have Ophelia.
This leads me to cruelly ask David to indulge in whether he has any strong feelings towards certain materials.
I think I have maybe the opposite.
Strap yourself
of this,
in, folks.
and it might be called. I'm going to maybe make up a word, or this might be a word. We could look it up later on. I think I maybe have hyphophobia.
Right, that should be if there's hypophilia.
Hypophilia, there should be a phobia. I have a hyphophobia because there are materials that make me physically, and I do think we've spoken about this before on the podcast, but they make me physically nauseous. Like they really, I feel the water coming up my throat.
They turn your stomach.
They give me the queer jaundice.
The queer oh frig, we're talking serious stuff here now.
The jaundice.
The jaundice, big time.
So in my daytime work, which is so rewarding. So that's what I'm going to call. One day I'm going to write a book about being a support worker, and I'm just going to call it "So Rewarding."
So rewarding.
So rewarding.
It's like whenever you want to say something bad about someone you love, and you're like, "I love her," but
I will say,
yes, we have done this. We have went here.
We have gone to that place.
But yes, so your little. So
my service, she was getting our wee room done up, and I was helping her put like just stuff back, and she'd even talking about it really hurts my feelings.
No, David, you have to.
It was a duvet cover, and it was old, and you can tell it was like from the 70s or 80s. Like she had this. This was nearly a fucking heirloom.
Like it probably wouldn't be legal to sell it now because it's probably highly flammable.
You wouldn't be able to smoke within about 3 miles of this thing because it's so fucking flammable.
It's so flammable they're going to start cladding the fucking flats with it next.
We're going to get tested for fucking. Did you have this in your home in the 80s? Come and get tested for asbestos.
Yeah.
Because this is awful.
This is the reason everybody has dementia nowadays.
Everybody's autistic because they have these duvet covers.
You were conceived in these duvet covers.
Now you're a character.
Yeah, now you're a character. Just because you are a character doesn't mean you have any now. Don't be getting carried away with yourself.
You became the duvet covers. I was born.
I was conceived upon these duvet covers. I was like...
That's why they crack when you sit on them.
Sorry,
go for it. Tell us about your fucking...
Jesus
You're
Christ.
beating around the beard here.
Beating around the beard. It was so... It was... I was holding it up for her. And it was one of them ones.
Tell us all about it.
It was one of them ones.
What colour were they?
It was like, and then you could, because it was like all like, it was like, you know, like red and black and white and green and yellow, but it was all florals.
You sure it wasn't the colours making you feel sick?
It could have been. There was just a sensory fucking overload happening. Right. And it was, you know, the ones where, you know, like if like, as I said this before, you know, like if you went this down it wouldn't drip. It would just pull into
it's one of those ones like if you had a loose toenail or something. It would rip the toenail clean off your foot.
The whole thing. Did you see the sound thing at the back of the right screech there? Just short circuited. No,
you know, like things would catch in it.
Oh, all of that. Oh.
So did you touch it? Did you feel it?
And because like, she wasn't for folding it and putting it away, but she was having so much fun watching me bulk.
Did you physically get sick?
I could feel. I was. Even talking about it. But it was so.
I know what I'm getting you for your birthday.
Stinking. Look, a onesie made out of one of these.
A onesie. with the wee, you know the wee things that kids have where you can't even take your hands out of it.
The wee
like
mitts.
It goes over your. It's a wee mitt. Scratch mitts.
A wee stinking hazmat.
I just be laying on the floor like I wouldn't even be able to.
He would just be twitching. Go.
Silent tears.
I'm in hell.
Like, not even full on sobbing. Just so past it. Just immobile face, tears running.
The horror.
Where is he now? We go far away. This is what the
He's not with us anymore.
He's not with us anymore.
You're just like,
he's a vegetable.
Grand out of Breaking Bad. You're like, got the wee bell. Ding, ding.
What's her name?
Oh no, they changed it into like it's
Salamander. Salamanca.
Salamanca.
Hector Salamanca.
Hector Salamanca.
It wasn't it, but they've changed it to something that sounds ridiculous. Like. So
So we know what to make David straitjacket out of if he ever misbehaves.
I do, because I thought everybody did this, but does everybody not do this? Where you go in, like, say you go in to buy yourself something to wear, and you look at like, oh, I love that shirt, or I love those jeans, or I love that coat or whatever, and you go over and then you touch it, and then it's like, oh, I can't imagine. I'm gonna have to. I'd have to. Like, I can't. Do
you know what the only thing I'm really like that with?
What?
You're making me do it now.
Dry sponge with wet fingers.
Sponge! Ah! With wet fingers! Even
Dry.
a wet sponge with wet fingers.
No, wet. For me, it's specifically.
No, I can't. I'm afraid of it because I do.
I'm afraid of.
No, I'm afraid of it.
It's like
no,
we sponge it.
I am genuinely. I have this weird right, and I only discovered this because somebody sent it to me and went, "This is what you have." Trypophobia or trypophobia.
The thing with the wee dots.
Trypophobia. See,
We don't like going to Lourdes with a group of friends.
Trypophobia. Hate
or
going on holiday.
is it trico or trico? I'm near, but
it's tripo because like
tripo.
Trick's always her.
Yeah,
You know the people
yeah,
that
because they have that.
They pull that out.
Yeah, but it's like honestly, I didn't know why my mummy used to have these big dried out poppies. That sounds like I'm talking about her tits. My man had a big pair of dried out poppies after all this.
She's let herself go. Look at the state of her big dried out poppies.
Shit, it's not even November.
Hanging out of her. Dried out poppies.
She did used to have these big dried poppies like on display, you know, whenever they were all the rage. But I walked in and I was like, hey, well, what the fuck is that? Why are there all the wee holes in them? What does it do? What's in there?
What's it up to?
What's it up to? And then I went to my sister's house and we went out the back to sit and I was just enjoying myself, minding my own business, living. And she said to me, do you see the wee hotel that I got? And I was like, what? And she went, look. And I looked up and it was a bug hotel. So it was essentially just a little house with loads of holes in it. Oh. And I haven't been back since. That was about 2 years ago.
What sister's that?
Just because I'm a terrible sister. But
which sister?
That's our Michelle.
Sorry, Michelle. Your bug hotel's fucking stinking.
It's minging. But it's good for the environment.
Bronagh couldn't tell you to your face, so we're going to
just tell everybody.
We're doing it the 2025 way, where we'll talk about it on a podcast.
So it's like
you
have a phobia to like things with loads of holes in them.
Yeah. Like,
Nicole has that as well. She can't eat crumpets.
Yeah, they are weird. Crumpets freak me a bit.
Oh, I love crumpets.
Like, what's in there? Anything could crawl in there. Like you don't know. There could be a wee bug in there in that crumpet, and you would just bite into it and you wouldn't know.
What's worse than
burrowing?
What's worse than fighting a worm in your apple?
Fighting half a worm. What's worse than fighting a big dick on your date?
Fighting
half a dick.
I was going to say fighting a big dick in your date.
You've been there before, haven't you? What happened to you?
Oh, sorry.
Who hurt you? Or was
Walk
this
out again? Oh, sorry. I was early.
Enjoying yourselves.
This isn't my slot.
He's having a good time.
Did you forget something? Maybe something like me.
Oh, did I tell you about whenever I went to that peep show in Amsterdam? And I didn't know that I did this, but supposedly I stood there without looking away and just went, God love her. Right?
Why was it a big based of a mate thing?
It was a peep show and she was on like this rotating dirty bed.
So right
and
away
she was like, she was about 40, like she'd seen her day on the street, like, but you know, she was retired, she was enjoying herself, she was living her best life.
You still need to make money in your 40s, bro.
She was just sitting there like, she wasn't really doing anything. No, who she reminded me of? Stifler's ma. Right. Jennifer Coolidge.
She was just sitting there going,
she was like that, and she was just sitting there going,
makes me want a hot dog real bad.
Yeah.
I'm taking the dog. I'm taking the dog, dumbass.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't sound like her at all. I sound more like Karen from Will and Grace.
And just because we have been away.
Was he a big beast? Was it a big beast of a Willie? And she just was like not.
Oh no, she was just on her own on a bed.
Oh, so she was. That's a shit peep show.
Yeah,
she's just spinning around having a fucking sleep.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. But she was trying to be sexy and she was sort of trying to twerk, and I was like, "Carney, you passed and settled down. You shouldn't be doing that." And I just thought,
this is about.
You know, I'd probably do that. Like if I was stuck for a few bob. But the thing is, I wouldn't feel proud of myself.
What about your woman?
You know what I mean?
What's her name? Bonnie Blue.
Aye.
Wasn't
Bonnie
blue whenever
waffle.
it was finished.
No.
Did you ever hear
Bonnie
this?
Black and Blue?
Bonnie Black and Blue. Was it like they say, fuck my pig? She was, what do you call it? She was...
Wee Bonnie.
What do we think? What do we think about that? Because I feel Bonnie Blue just get mentioned on other podcasts.
All the time.
All the time. But what do we feel about it?
I just think
we feel like we talk about Bonnie all the time, but we don't talk about the men who line up to fucking do it.
they're all fucking having a wank date anyway.
I want to know them. I want to know.
I find it extraordinarily hypocritical, David,
I do.
is what I do.
I agree.
And you know something? Like, people are really... there's a podcast called the Over 18 podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Christopher Savage and... he's dead funny, but I've forgotten his name. But they were talking about her, and they were talking about her fanny.
Right.
And how it is looking, right? And I actually find this quite...
It's very misogynistic.
Misogynistic, yeah.
But it's like, this is designed to have something the size
They were saying,
of a cantaloupe.
have you seen it, son? Have you seen it? No, there's bits everywhere. And I'm like, you don't know. Do you know what her vagina looked like before?
Yes, we
she had
intimately
sex?
acquainted with
And
her.
by the way, it's not a vagina, it's a labia. But you're like, did you know? Because women all look different down there. And the fact that you are all openly discussing the fact that this woman's had loads of sexual partners, did you know that having sex is supposed to make you tighter down there as opposed to looser?
Well, I thought that it
Because
just
you're
was
actually using it.
Well, I thought it was just
There
because
you
it was
go.
equipped to just...
There you
I
go.
just thought it was like smart technology.
Mm.
It was just equipped to deal... Because like,
It does everything.
It's like, mate, this is designed for something the size of a honeydew melon to come out of. It's designed for that. Your wee willy's not going to make a difference.
In fact, I have a new word for... We will do our swear down this week.
Go for it.
Talk among yourselves. I'm going to actually...
Where's the chalk?
Write
Or is
this.
it there?
Because I think it would make for a good swear word, swearing at people.
Yes.
But it isn't essentially
It's not a swear word, but
any
it could be
sort
construed.
of an insult, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now that I have spell checked it, and it's really well I did, because I thought that this ended in an R. Because we have a
Rhotic accent.
rhotic accent.
From Northern Ireland. Swear down.
Swear down!
motherfucker.
Piece of shit.
Motherfucker.
So this word is a cloaca.
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 Waka waka.
Cloaca.
Cloaca waka.
I would say cloaca, but am I saying it wrong?
I think it's a
Because I've only heard English people say it.
cloaca.
Cloaca.
Cloaca, but they're saying it wrong because it's
Cloaca?
a cloaca. Because
Cloaca.
cloaca would be, but it's because
It's a
also
koala.
is, it's the word. Chickens have cloacas.
Chickens have cloacas.
So it's like it's an orifice that is like a bum, a
Multi-purpose.
urethra, and
All the fucking shit
vaginal
comes out of it.
opening.
Piss, shit, eggs, sperms. Some animals.
Some animals.
Some animals do, but I think you're
Did you say sperms?
sperm?
Oh, sperm.
I'll be sperm.
The sperm. I couldn't afford to go to the sperms, so I just sat in the sperms.
Yeah. You're so tight. Every time you take a penny out your sporin, the queen blinks in the light. But yeah, I just think it's a multi-purpose cloaca.
It's like 5-in-1, like shampoo.
Let's get down with this now.
5-in-1 orifice.
Yeah.
But it's like
It is.
It's the Spanish word for sewage. A sewage is in the cloaca.
Is it?
in the
So
cloaca.
it's a great swear down.
So great. We're supposed to
You're
use
nothing.
for
Bet you the Spanish actually do use it.
cloaca.
Cloaca.
Well, yeah, cloaca. Oh,
You're
smells
Lord her,
sewage. It's not
cloaca.
sewage. It's the sewer.
Yeah, like you talk cloaca.
You're talking cloaca.
Cloaca. Can you cloaca and taca at the same time? But yeah, I like it. But I kind of get a wee bit fascinated thinking about this because I kept chickens.
Did
I-
you?
Yeah, so that's how I learned
Be
about
chatting.
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 The,
You wanting beef or chatting?
they're extraordinarily easy to keep. And then I was like, oh, everything comes out the one hole.
No.
You know, for humans, that's called a fissure or like a, what do they call it?
Stoma.
No, when you have a tear, it's called a...
Is it not a fissure? No.
Could be. No, there's another word for it. Because I read a book by a woman called Nimco Ali called Things what we're not supposed to talk about.
Right.
But we're going to anyway. I think it should be prescribed reading for like every teenager because it talks about women's experiences with their vaginas and it's all over the world, right? And like Muslim women, and it's the first period, first sexual experience, childbirth, menopause.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really enlightening. But she talks about how there was an Indian lady who was married off when she was 12 or 13. And when she gave birth, fistula. It's called a fistula. When she gave birth, obviously she was so young that
She wasn't really ready.
she ended up with a cloaca, right? And
Really? It's all split?
Split right out. So basically it means that your life is unmanageable because she was in India in the heat and she was just pushed to the side then thrown in the back room and she was just like lying in her own waste and stuff and her baby was raised for her and it was like 18 years she was lying like that and it was actually her daughter became a doctor.
A spokesperson for this.
A doctor. Her daughter became a doctor and came home and went like, Mum, this is easily fixed. I can give your life back. Because the dad had went and married someone else as well. Like, and she, like, it is a pretty straightforward operation. She should have had that done straight after childbirth.
I was going to say, that happens, is it not like...
While he was being arrested?
Is it not while he was getting the shit beat out of him?
Yeah.
Because do you not think it's weird that, like, I think it's weird that there's, like feminine medicine, there's female medicine, there's gynecology, right? When like women make up the world's like majority, but it's still seen as niche and something that we're not meant to talk about. Like it still comes like there's people like, oh, we're talking about that, and you
it's very interesting as well whenever you look into the racism that was a part of why we even have gynecology. Because it was slave women who were experimented on and I would say tortured.
I think, now please do correct me if I'm wrong, if anybody knows more about this, but I read that the first successful cesarean for child and mother was, so it, again, as you say, it was people who were enslaved. It was a woman who was enslaved, and the doctor was a trans man before we had the words for this sort of thing. So it was, we would now call this person trans. But they were a man in disguise. It was a woman who had lived as a man their whole life.
So they weren't a man simply to be a doctor. They were a man living their life as a man.
Because
they were a man.
From what I understand about this character, I can't remember their name, but from what I understand about this person is like they didn't like go home and go, oh, thank God I can take these clothes off. I can be myself in the house. I think they lived. So
I thought it was a Mulan situation, or where they were trying to like
probably
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah,
but it probably is like
get
a bit
the
of
job,
the whole time.
I do that.
But
at least once a week.
But there is like, I think there is like a bit of column A, a bit of column B, where it's like obviously by living as a man, this person was then able to do the things that they wanted to do. But yes,
I've actually heard of her.
So the whole story is very. The whole story is just very multifaceted because you've got, gender politics, you've got medicine, and then you've got, because like there's lots of like people who, like if you talk to like black women in America, like a lot of them have heard doctors like not giving them painkillers because they assume that black women have a higher pain threshold, and you're like, what is this based on?
Yeah, what's that book?
Where's the science on this?
There's a novel, is it The Bluest Eye? Toni Morrison. Where she talks about that and overhearing the doctors speak, saying they're like big mules, they just push them out, they don't even make any noise and all.
And you're like, well, that's maybe because
subservience because we'll be beat.
Yeah.
Beaten. Yeah. But this is a happy chat.
This is a happy chat.
Happy chat.
But yes, so I do like the word cloaca because I like the sounds of it. It's like cloaca.
God love him, because see, like when multiple things need to happen at the one time, it must be more blocked up than the fucking.
What if you needed a poo, lay an egg at the same time? I suppose you do. You get
it's like the West Link on a Friday afternoon.
Oh God, yeah. Do you know what my kids call? By the way, do you know what they call
Nelson Street Junction?
That tunnel that goes underneath the Balls of the Falls. We're driving the other day and they went, "Oh, we're ready to go through Teabag Tunnel," and I was like. What did you just say? And he went, Teabag Tunnel. And I was like, what? Where you go? Oh, because you're going underneath the Balls of the Falls. So they call it Teabag Tunnel.
It's so good.
I was like, how do you know what a teabag is? You're 11.
What do you mean?
Teabagging?
They knew.
Yeah, it's from games, isn't it?
Kids can know about, but kids know about everything from the age of about 9.
Yeah, this is true. This is all true. In fact, on this note, before we go, I've been watching. I know I'm late to the party on this, and they don't make it anymore. Like it's essentially over. But Harlots. Oh my God, I love it.
I was obsessed whenever I found out about it.
It's so fucking good.
We watched it. Because it's only come on to, is it on Netflix? So it used to be on something else. And Alan,
BBC or something.
Well, Alan and I watched it years ago, and everybody, is it Leslie Manville?
Yes, I love her. She narrates the Richard Osman books as well.
She is fucking amazing.
She is.
She's so good because you can. Do you know what's so good about her is you can see who she is she plays who the character is, but gives loads of clues as who the character was. Do you understand what
yes.
I mean? She play.
You know her background already, don't you? Stunning, and that's good writing as well.
Leslie, if you are watching this, come on so we can be a guest. But she's amazing. But I always feel she's one of those actors that like is in stuff. And you're like,
she's in everything, and you don't normally pick her out.
And it's
sometimes
not that you forget her, but it's just that every single time you see her, you're like, it's like a.
She morphs into. She just blends seamlessly into whatever it is that she's doing. So this is a period drama that's all based around prostitution in London, and
it's sort of like Georgian.
Yeah, it is
Georgian era London, and it's two competing brothels.
Yeah, two competing her houses, and I love it because it's really centric around how everybody is driven by sex.
But it's also
in some form or another.
It's also how these women claw power to themselves and how they
But I love that because they're utilising their sexuality and they are not just getting by, but living comfortably as fucking peasants in Georgian London. So,
but it also has one of my other favourite actors, Samantha Morton.
Who does she play?
She plays the other madam.
Oh, I loved her.
She is.
Yeah, she is very good.
Because she was in that, and then I saw her in. I only watched a few episodes of The Serpent Queen, where she plays Catherine de Medici, or de Medici.
De Medici?
De Medici. And she's one of these ones that she just vanishes into the character.
Yeah.
She just vanishes into the character. And
there's so many strong female leads in that, and it's so female driven. It's beautiful.
Emily Browning. What's a girl? She played the youngest sister in Downton Abbey.
Do you know who's in it? The girl from Derry Girls.
Yes. Nicola Coughlan.
Nicola Coughlan's in it. Was that before Derry Girls?
I think either just before it or maybe during the first series. So she wasn't she wasn't the Nicola Coughlan we know today.
Aye, yeah, because she's not got like a main role, but she's really good.
Oh, she's very good in it. But you can see how she's improved though.
Aye, you
can see how she's
improved. You can.
So many brilliant actors in it. It's so good, and it is very female centric. Male characters are very much to the side.
Yeah,
are very
or they even if they do have any power or some power, it's all about how these women can use that or grab some for themselves or aid themselves to live more comfortably through it. Like it is just.
I definitely. It's 3 series.
Yeah, it's 3 series, and I'm gutted. I actually do this thing, and I think it's my neurodiversion. It's just diversion from everything, but my neurodiversity. But I do like to call it my neurodiversion because it diverts me everywhere. But
and sometimes it is fun.
I will watch. It is. It's diverting. But I watched it. I watch things all the time, and then leave like half of the last season. Or the last episode unwatched because I'm like, I really enjoyed that. And if I finish it,
it's done.
It's done. And I do the same with bottles of juice, but not because of that reason. I'm like, ugh,
Would you like the slavers?
Once I take a drink out of that juice, it is now on borrowed time. It has maybe a couple of sips out of it. And if it's not drank within the hour, it's never getting drank. And it will sit there with good intentions for a couple of days. Do you know what I mean? The bottle, like with the... But, yeah, I can't do it. I probably won't finish the last episode, but then I actually might because it's so fucking good.
It is, I think I would say the 3rd series, for like no spoilers, but Samantha Morton's character's not in it.
Oh,
as much.
Right, you really took a big pause between not in it. I was like, she died as much.
No,
she's a ghost.
No. She doesn't. Like, okay, no spoilers, but no, she doesn't die.
She doesn't die.
But it's just there's something. The dynamics are a bit different in the 3rd series. It feels like it's a wee bit different. It's like a different series, I think. But just when you talking about that there, I did the same with Star Trek Deep Space Nine. I did not watch the last series of that for 20 years.
Did you not?
Because I was like, once it's over, it's over. I loved it. It was my favourite Star Trek, so I was like, I'm not
Star Trek will always be running parallel with my life. It's never over.
Because that was like the Star Trek era. Do you know what I mean? There was like so much Star Trek on the 90s and the early 2000s.
I think there's something in that, when you put off finishing something that you've really enjoyed.
Yeah.
And you're just like, because I don't want it to be over.
Yeah, like the last piece of your cheesecake or something, your slice of cheesecake, that one wee bite. Do like I actually have my brother still talks about it. In fact, it was only yesterday.
Till this day.
Only last night he brought it up to me. The time that he was eating his chicken noodle stir fry that my mum had made for all of us. And I had finished mine and there was no more left. and I saw him pushing this one piece of chicken all the way around his plate while he was eating, and he was just pushing it to the side. And as I get up, I flippantly went yoink with my fork and ate the chicken, and he was raging. He was like, I was saving that. We were only kids, like, but he stormed off down the stairs.
What?
I think he cried. When I ate that piece of chicken off his plate. And he still brings it up to me, so it really hurt him.
You know what you were doing?
I finished that for him, and he didn't even get the chance to finish it.
Here's a wee extra word up. Oh, here's a wee word up for free for you. You were groking.
Groking?
You were groking. So while you're watching him, you were watching him as he was eating eating or not eating his food, as the case may be, to see if he'll leave you any.
Aye.
That's groking.
Is that called groking?
That's a groke.
Is that like what we kids do? Did you ever see whenever you were a kid, or you see it, and
if you have siblings, you have done this.
Yes, they're done, and you look at it and you go, "Is that nice? What's it taste like?"
Do you think I'd like that?
Yeah, it's spicy.
And you go, I know, that's the answer. I know that's spicy. That rice cake with chocolate on it would be spicy.
I say that to my kids all the time, but I'm like, it's really spicy. Well, the baby,
like,
the rest
spicy.
of them don't bother. I know!
Like spicy.
Assholes. And I'm like, well, do you know what doesn't like spicy? Fuck off. I'm neurospicy. Do you know what I mean? You're all neurospicy.
No, I'm not coming up with something funny to say. Just fuck off and let me in it.
Yeah, I know. Well, I was always told that it was absolutely unhygienic to eat in a bathroom, but I'll tell you what, see, it's the only fucking room in my house that has a locked door. Like, you can lock it, and I have stood and hoofed. Inhaled club oranges for fear that the kids would ask for something.
And they could smell it. You like cats and dogs under the door. You see their wee noses are under
my child wouldn't hear me calling them with the volume up to 99 in the middle of a fucking thunderstorm. But see, if I dare rustle a bag of crisps in the middle of the fucking kitchen, he will be out there extra ears like, what are you eating? What are you eating?
I always remember, you said Club Orange years and years and years ago. RTE, the advert for it was like, it's the bits that make it juicy. And it was the advert for, but it was people, and they were talking about drinking Club Orange, and there was this one ginger guy who had like acne all over his chin, and that was like the close up of his face, and it kind of torned me a wee bit.
Yeah, so you were like, Club Orange isn't nice.
I was like, Club Orange or Fanta Orange?
I don't like the oranges. I like lemons.
I would Fanta Orange.
Sharp.
Club Orange every time.
Really?
Club Orange every time.
Because it has the bits in it. Right, well, there you go. This is David trying to tell you that it's marching season, right? And that he will be indulging in some marching for pride.
While you are listening to this, I will be holed up inside my house with goodies. I will not be walking over that door the whole time. I will be in the house. I do not partake.
Really? Not at all?
No.
Did you ever go?
I remember going.
Your dad took you, didn't he?
Oh no! My dad took my what?
I never took you to anything.
Never fucking took me to nothing. He took me to the fair and left mother, and then he hoping that somebody else would pick me up. He took me to the side of the road and left me alone. It was
He took me for granted.
He took me as a pain in the soul.
Took me for a fool, and thought that I would believe he'd come home.
Fuck you, daddy.
No, because my wee granda, God love him, he was in the Orange back in the day, and years and years and years ago when it was like a churchy thing.
Yeah,
it was a churchy thing. Like you couldn't have gone. Do you know when you see like the kind of people going? Like people go to the listen, I'm just going to say it. People go to the 12th now dressed like tramps.
Yeah,
just go dressed like tramps, absolute tramps. Like you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you would, and they go now. This is my good T-shirt. No, it's not. You had to wear like good clothes. Like you couldn't have wore.
Oh really?
My granda would have been mortified to see me in a pair of gutties.
At the 12th?
At the 12th. You wore your nice shoes, you wore a nice wee church outfit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because we would have gone.
Do you know what I mean? You had to look your best.
You went, and because then his sisters were all
were
in
you like
orange.
Orange isn't my colour.
Orange doesn't go well with me. I'm too pale. If it washes me out.
This
is why the gays see. The gays should definitely be involved in the 12th, because if you're at the 12th and all the different bands go past, you're standing there all going past. Mm-hmm. They're all playing a different song.
Right.
So if the gays were involved, there'd be choreography. There'd be like everybody would be playing the same song.
Yeah.
Do you know, it would be more like an actual event rather than, I don't know,
a load of competing bands.
Well, they're not, I don't know.
Are they
who are they
competing?
competing with?
I don't know.
It's
I wouldn't mind. Like, I have been to a sort of march before. It was up in Derry. But they were never up in Derry. They were in Londonderry.
Oh, right. I was like going...
you know, and it seemed to go over peacefully. You know, it was just the way they were playing some music and whatnot.
Because then you're Derry's very close to like St Johnson's in Donegal, and St Johnson's would be very Protestant. I think that's why Donegal voted no.
No, I said that. I said that.
Donegal has a huge.
They were the only ones that
Protestant.
didn't repeal.
The 8th.
Yeah.
People who don't know what that is, I'm not explaining it. That's what Google's for. Fucking go and say.
It's so you don't end up with a cloaca if you get pregnant whenever you're 13. Do you know what I mean?
But yeah, it used to be a churchy thing because I remember because in Lurgan we have everybody in Lurgan calls it the castle, but it's not the castle. It's Brownlow House. It's a big mansion for that's where Lord Lurgan lived before the last Lord Lurgan moved to Africa.
Sorry, I just remembered a joke there.
Lord Lurgan, he moved to Africa because I think he was gay. He had no kids. It's like no kids, not married by 45, a confirmed bachelor.
Yeah,
gay.
Yeah,
sucks a dick.
He loves it. I love that you can say that.
Sucks
I
a dick. You can say something.
I enjoy.
Yeah, you can say it as well because you've been probably been expected to do it at some point.
Been expected. Do you know there was an interesting conversation came up the other day? I was talking with someone and they said, how do you feel about if a man... Actually, are we doing a Patreon? Because I think we should... I don't want to say this in the public episode.
You have to pay for this good stuff.
You have to pay for this good stuff. But thank you for joining us. We're sorry that we have been AWOL. And we will be here again next week. Have you anything on, David?
Oh gosh, the time this goes out, I will probably have already done a wee gig in Sligo, and then please keep a wee eye out. Slagging off. So go wee gig in Sligo, but also please keep a wee eye out for Fermanagh Pride and Lurgan Pride.
Fermanagh Pride and Lurgan Pride, our good friend Molly.
And Letterkenny Pride as well.
Letterkenny has the Pride, and also on the 24th of this month, we are doing a super secret gig for Kitsch, comedy gig. And you should come along because we have special guests and it is for fundraising for Kitsch CIC. So, we will put the link for the tickets underneath the podcast if you're interested.
We'll do that thing. Go.
Smash that like button. Smash that like button. Is it up here? No, it's down there. Smash that like button. Like and comment. Is it up here? Well, that's what I said the first time, isn't it? You're a dick. Sean.
I remember my niece.
Mean.
I remember my niece, whenever she would she was about 4 or 5, and you know how things that entered the zeitgeist when 4-year-olds are going like this here. Don't forget to like and subscribe my channel.
Oh, and subscribe.
No, I'm not liking because it's shade content, love. But I love.
I love that you're into it.
I love that you're in. I love that.
Now, Miss Rachel can go and fuck herself.
I love that for you.
Here, I'll see you next week and tell your wee grandma.